This is what started me off on this. Shout out to Kim Klacik, because she's awesome. I got to meet her when she was on the Timcast show. I think it was in September or something. She stopped by when we were still in New Jersey, and she has this great quote here that Real America's Voice posted. Now that Trump's attorneys proved the impeachment manager's doctored evidence, when will they be charged and removed from office? Republicans on Capitol Hill, here's your chance. Bring each manager in to answer questions publicly for the changes. Yeah, they changed and doctored stuff. Here's the first example I got. This is from Jennifer Lynn Lawrence, who Donald Trump retweeted. She said, "I have never been verified on Twitter, so why did my tweet used in the fact-free impeachment include a verification badge?" Excuse me. "I'm assuming Democrats faked it, like they are faking the whole case. Swalwell, did you add a verified badge to my tweet in your presentation? Look at this. This is directly from it. Now we will bring to D.C. on January 6th and proudly stand beside you. Thank you for fighting for us." Fighting for us. Fighting for us. What does that sound familiar? Oh, right, because the Democrats have been telling everybody to fight against Donald Trump for years and years. In fact, they had a video. It was like 6 to 7 minutes long of just showing most of the Democrats that were in the room telling their supporters that they're not going to stop fighting and you must fight. Kamala Harris said, yeah, they're going to be in the streets. They're not even going to stop. I don't blame them. And they're not going to stop before the election, not going to stop after the election. Like, so you're condoning the violence from your side of the aisle? But when people say, we're so happy you're fighting for us, Donald Trump, which is not the literal sense of physically fighting. Will you see Trump fighting people physically? No. He's going up against big tech. He's going up against these rhinos, the sitting Democrats that are trying to take power from everyone. And here, and they don't care what they do. Case in point, they're changing evidence. They clipped speeches. Like, how many people have you heard? Well, Trump said that there's good people on both sides. And he also condemned neo-Nazis and white supremacists, white nationalists in the same sentence. But they cut it out because they don't want people seeing that side of it. He was talking about the people that just didn't want the statue to be taken down. They even had a permit to be there. And he straight up said the neo-Nazis should be condemned outright. Good riddance to them. I agree with him. And they don't want people to see that. So they took his speech, which I stood in the crowd listening to him on January 6th. Not once did I go, wow, that's inciting violence. No. He said peacefully protest, peacefully and patriotically have our voices be heard. He said it peacefully. We're going to go over there and peacefully, patriotically, by protesting. That's the First Amendment. That's our right as Americans, as human beings. But they tried to change it so that it was inciting violence. They literally altered evidence. Like, for example, here's another example. This one really pisses me off. Here, wait, hold on. Let me find it. Yeah. New York Times retracts claim that Capitol Police officer was killed by a Trump supporter with a fire extinguisher. They've been shoving this down everyone's throat for a month straight. They killed a police officer. No mention of defunding the police. Now, of course, they support the police, which is ridiculous. Now, it's a shame that anyone dies. People die, all right? There is a reality to understanding that people die. It's a shame that people died, but Tucker Carlson is now trying to be canceled because he straight up called them out for it also. Only one person was shot inside the Capitol or killed inside the Capitol. The other people that died, one died from a heart attack, wasn't even near the Capitol. One other person had a stroke, and it turns out this Capitol police officer returned to the job after the fact. The New York Times issued a correction on Sunday after it was revealed that the Capitol Police officer who they reported had been killed by supporters of former President Donald Trump after being bludgeoned with a fire extinguisher actually died of a different cause. That's correct. Let's see here. Law enforcement officials initially said Mr. Sicknick was struck with a fire extinguisher, but weeks later, police sources and investigators were at odds over whether he was hit. The story now reads, medical experts have said he did not die of blunt force trauma. The article initially stated that Sicknick died from brain injuries he sustained after Trump loyalists who overtook the complex struck him in the head dead with a fire extinguisher. The paper used anonymous sources to substantiate their claim. The article was later cited by a variety of mainstream media outlets without questioning the reporting of the paper. His death was even brought up by the Democrats during Trump's impeachment trial in the Senate. What a surprise. Investigators have found no evidence of trauma sustained by blows to the head, and nobody has been arrested in connection to Sicknick's alleged murder. In fact, Sicknick had returned to his job after the Capitol riot and texted his brother that aside from being pepper sprayed twice, he was otherwise in good shape. What? He returned to work and actually was texting with his brother saying, yeah, I'm in good shape. Like, everything's good. What? So they were politically using this man's name as a martyr to shove it down people's throats? If I was one of his family members, I would be pissed. How dare you use my brother's name as a political martyr for your war against your enemies that you're creating? That's what they did. How dare you, Democrats? You should be ashamed of yourself. Look, I support the blue, all right? I understand the need for police officers in our society. I mean, I lived in dangerous areas. I've been shot at. I'm not joking. I've been shot at before. I've been in sketchy situations, all right? I grew up outside Philadelphia in not so great of areas. I mean, where I lived was actually quite nice, but I ventured out into not so safe of places. Chicago, talk about Chicago. I'm from Chicago, all right? It was one of the most dangerous cities in America. It's high on the list still. They call it Chirac for a reason. Look, don't you dare think I'm saying anything about any race issue. No. Everybody, anybody, any race, all humans have the ability to be bad or good, period. I'm not talking about race. I'm just talking about society in general, okay? Police officers, I respect the police, okay? They're there for a reason, all right? We need them. But when you use their death, how did he die? He died of a stroke. He died of a stroke. How do we know when there's absolutely no proof? There's no proof about him being hit at all. In fact, it doesn't say in this article, but the medical examiner said there's absolutely no blunt force trauma anywhere on his entire person. He wasn't beaten at all. Okay? And now it's a sad thing. I think he was in his mid-40s. So to die of a stroke, that's a shame. But I don't know anything about his history, his health, or where he was at. But I know that he returned to work and was texting his brother that he was all good. He wasn't beaten to death like the news has been shoving down everyone's throat for a month. The Democrats just lie. They are just shoving everything they can. Oh, what's this? Oh, Pelosi calls for a commission to investigate the January 6th attack. She compares the January 6th attack to 9/11. We need a 9/11 type commission to investigate and report on facts because it's a domestic terrorist attack. No, it wasn't. They were peacefully walking through the cordoned off areas. There was a bunch of people smoking joints in the Redonda. What? What terrorist attack? It's getting embarrassing to the Democrats. AOC, the whole thing about her, I thought I was going to get killed. She was actually back in her office before they even got into the Capitol building. So that whole lie that she was lying, do we forget this? Man, Democrats should be ashamed of themselves. They should be embarrassed on the national stage for what they're doing. It's getting ridiculous now. I can't believe it. But at least there's a little bit of shining hope. Look at this. Florida Governor DeSantis goes to war against big tech, citing the censorship of Trump. This is a great story. Florida governor launched an offensive against big tech on Tuesday, warning that the social media platforms are targeting politicians like former President Donald Trump now, but will soon be coming for regular American citizens, vowing to combat the threat. Today, they may come after someone who looks like me. Tomorrow, they may come after someone who looks like you, DeSantis, a Republican, said during a news conference outside the state capitol as he announced the Transparency in Technology Act. The governor said he intends to protect privacy from the oligarchs in Silicon Valley, Google, Facebook, Twitter, because the platforms have changed from neutral platforms to enforcers of preferred narratives. Couldn't have said it better myself. He's absolutely right. They are the enforcers of the preferred narrative. If you go against the narrative, they get rid of you. Why am I still on this platform? I have no idea. Why I'm still on Twitter? I have no idea. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep speaking out. It's like people are like, well, why are you on those platforms? Well, yeah, okay, I'm on other platforms. Do you follow me there too? I'm on Gab. I'm on Parler, which just came back today, actually, although it's not letting me log in for some reason. I'm on Locals, which is a great place to get a hold of me. I tend to go to my Locals for the more personal interactions. I actually post a little more, private videos from the things that I do around this house. And it's kind of a good way to support me as well. You can support me on Locals. I'm on Minds as well. And you can find me at other places, and I post there. But right now, Twitter is where all the politicians are at. All of the, I have a large following on Twitter. I have a large following on YouTube. I do post my videos on other places. It's on Library and Odyssey right now. They automatically get uploaded over there. If you don't want to support YouTube, you can watch my clips over there if you'd like, by all means. But they're winning. They're getting rid of the people that they don't want. Look at Gina. Although, shout out to her perseverance. Her and the Daily Wire are about to make a movie, which I'm pretty excited about. But he goes, where is it? He says that he wants to find them. As part of his measure, DeSantis suggested fines of $100,000 per day for deplatforming political candidates, as well as daily fines for any company that uses their content and user-related algorithms to suppress or prioritize the access of any content related to a political candidate or cause on the ballot. Dude, DeSantis, man. That dude is impressing me. They've been like, well, how come you don't take the vaccine? He's like, because I'm healthy. And there is, it's Florida. It's like, they called it the geriatric state for a reason. Like, a lot of old people go there to retire because it's warm. That's that's like the number one. It's warm. A bunch of other old people live there. You get on a boat. You can relax. It's nice. I've lived in Florida for I've lived in different areas in Florida. I lived in Miami for a little bit with Tim, actually. He had a house in Miami-Dade, out in the Redlands. And that was an interesting time in my life. We actually tried to start the show. This was like 4.5 years ago. We wanted to start a show then, and that didn't work out. And then, well, we started a show, and we all know how that worked out. But anyway, yeah, Florida. So yeah, whatever. I'm fed up with the Dems. I'm fed up with mainstream media, just abusing the system. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think DeSantis is doing the right thing, calling them out. We got to keep calling them out.